Hey Internet, how's it going? Thanks for coming back. My name's Alan Lenczycki. I'm an attorney up here in Libertyville, Illinois. I want to share a couple of ideas about how to keep your divorce low cost. Okay, so one thing that I tell people, and I may have said in other videos, is if you want to hire a contractor to paint your house, well, you pay the guy and then he paints your house. If you can't afford that, then you've got to do it yourself. Okay, you got to paint your own house, and that's something that's doable. Being an attorney is hard. It is a job where you have a lot of training and experience and education. But if people can't afford attorneys, you got to do it yourself. Okay. So, how do you keep a divorce low cost? And this happens with a person representing themselves, where their divorce is going to be almost, I won't say zero cost, but super low cost, or a party working with an attorney that needs to keep that attorney on a budget, right? So, you got to watch the attorneys, because the attorneys, they should be telling you, they should say, hey, look, we've got a complicated issue. Please free up some salary cap, free up some money so that I can work on these issues. Dedicate a few hours to research, dedicate a few hours to writing, and dedicate a few hours to litigating the thing, and another couple hours to communicating. So maybe this is an 8-hour project. I think this one issue we've got, and the budget is going to be X or Y, whatever it's going to be. So one way to manage those costs or to do this yourself is to get organized. Okay, if you don't know what the issues in your case are, how can you cogently and intelligently present the issues to the judge if you're representing yourself? Okay, if you don't know what the issues are that your lawyer's working on, there's a good chance that your lawyer probably also doesn't know. You guys are a team. You and your lawyer need to communicate. So pick up the phone and say, hey, look, can we have a quick meeting? Or a great thing for a client to do is to throw together a list of bullet points and email me, okay, the lawyer, or email your own lawyer, or hire me, whatever. But email your lawyer, get organized, and that will really help your attorney do the case effectively and avoid spending money on stuff that you don't have to spend. And it'll help you if you're doing it pro se, okay? A great thing to do also, if you can. Now, look, the second thing to do to keep your case low cost is to cooperate with your spouse. Okay. So, look, I know you don't like him. I know you don't like her. You're breaking up. You're getting divorced. But the most complicated, the ugliest, and the most expensive divorces are always the ones where the parties can't talk and the parties don't cooperate. If the parties can talk and cooperate and they go, you know what, Heather, I don't like you anymore, but let's talk about what we're going to do with the parenting time for our kid, it just goes smoother. It just does. If people are each willing to take a step back from their ego and try to make a deal. Now, that's hard in a divorce, and a lot of times people can't cooperate. So that brings me to my third point here today, is you've got to stay calm. Okay. One way to make a divorce really emotionally painful and very, very expensive is for stuff like orders of protection to get involved. The cops are called. He's spreading text messages about me and my conduct, or she's doing this, a social media post about passive aggressive, whatever. It blows up the case and it makes the case take longer and have a worse outcome. So try to stay calm. Now, of course, those last 2 points, they don't really apply to somebody who's in a parachute, bail out, the plane's on fire divorce, okay? Because sometimes those exist. The bottom 10% of most acrimonious, ugliest divorces, maybe she feels like she's in danger to be hurt or whatever. Maybe he feels like he's in danger for reasons. She's going to take the kid and flee. Okay, so those most difficult cases, of course, you can't cooperate, you can't stay calm. You need an attorney, but on the other hand, get ready for an expensive case. Those are cases where it's difficult to control the costs. So the way to control the costs in a divorce, cooperate, get organized, stay calm. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.